Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today is February 2nd. I think they call it Groundhog's Day. I'm not sure, because that's one of those holidays that I don't celebrate because I don't get cards for it. As a matter of fact, I don't think I celebrate any holidays. But if this is your holiday, happy Groundhog's Day. Although there are people who are trying to get rid of it. I think the PETA people are trying to get rid of it. And they want to have like gender reveal parties instead of groundhogs. I think Mayor de Blasio fucked it up for everybody. That's what I think. But it's just my opinion. But it's not like any of those fucking things work anyway, right? It's not like prayer. That's all I'm trying to say. Fucking groundhogs. So welcome. Good morning, brothers and sisters. This includes our new members who may be enjoying us or joining us or both for the first time. Wherever you may be, wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, here you are. And that counts for something, because you don't know where you could be, and you may not want to be there. So you're welcome to be here with us. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. For those of you who do not know, people have called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile, vulgar, vigor of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the dirty deacon, doggy of doggy style, the frisky friar, the ass man, abbot, the booty banging brother, the handsy high priest, the father of Fistmas, the holy hoe, the divine dominating dominee, the depraved preacher, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. That's right. I got through that in about 12 seconds. Actually, I didn't time it. I just know that I say it so much that the people who are regulars don't need to hear it all the time. And the new people can just slow it down and hear like, just play it back and do it that way. That's all you got to do. Simple enough. Rewind and slow down. Like life. That's like life. At the end of the day, you take account of what you've done and you rewind and you slow down. Okay? But the point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy. So let us begin, as we always begin, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Thank you, brothers and sisters. And stop hitting the podium where the mic stand is. You gotta stop doing that. It makes a banging noise, bang up sound. So, brothers and sisters, without further ado, and I think ado is French for God, but we need further a God, right? Further, never mind. It is time for our opening prayers. And if you or someone you know is in need of prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for prayer and healing and forgiveness or any bullshit. And I apologize because this week I didn't check my emails, so there actually could be something in there. Although usually my emails are, do you have arthritis, or do you know all kinds of shit in there, stuff that if I needed them, I'm a faith healer. Why would they send me things in the email for prescriptions when I can heal it? What the fuck is wrong with those people? They obviously don't know the people they're trying to reach out to. All right. So, but if you have such a request, just reach out to Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, DRREVJEYLLYROLLE @gmail.com. It's just like the little crawl there. If you're watching, you can just see the crawl at the bottom. And if you're just listening, I just spelled it for you. And if you're paying attention, you know what to do. All right. Please remember to spell roll with an E and on the end, and not the other jelly. Otherwise the other jelly rolls, those imposters, the ones that cannot heal you, those that will not feel you, those that will not appeal to you. They'll wind up with your emails, and they'll know what you're thinking and what you need, and then they'll start taking advantage of it. All right, they'll be like, Jelly will be like saying, not me, but those other fake Jelly will be saying, they're like, so somebody died in your family. Sounds like you need a lawyer to help sort out things. See, and then they just take advantage of you. Me, I won't take advantage of you. I do other things to you, but take advantage, not one of them things. Nope. Now for our disclaimer, while all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may definitely apply. So please bow your heads unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes like this, just like that. You don't have to squint and show your teeth. I just can't help it because my teeth are so big that when I close my face, they just poke out the bottoms just like that. So I can't help it. But you may be able to help it. You may not even have teeth. And if that's the case, you know what to ask for in your prayers when you email me. Okay? All right. And it's simple. We try to keep it simple around here in a complicated way. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Garth Hudson. I should know that name. I got family with that last name. I'll try it one more time, okay? For those with hearing impairment, and I just made it worse. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Garth Hudson. Garth, the Bear Hudson, was the last surviving founding member of the beloved Rock's Root Ensemble, the band. And see, you know how they did that? Rock Ensemble, the band. They didn't want to say beloved Roots Rock Band, the band, because they know how that sounds. And so they said, what else can we say instead of band when the band is called the band? We can call them a rock ensemble. That's it, a rock ensemble, the band. He has died at the age of 87. His cause of death was not disclosed. However, chest fever was ruled out. Some of you know what I just did there. And those who don't, you're not a fan of the band, that great rock ensemble. All right. So, like I said, chest fever was ruled out. Quote, he died peacefully in his sleep, holding the hand of someone he loved. Close quote, according to his close friend, Jan Houst. Okay, now that someone was not named. And the reason being is there were so many hands being held there that we know that he didn't like all of those people. But one of those persons he did love. Okay. And if you say the name, then all those other people who were holding hands at the end are going to say, wait, I was at his bedside while he transitioned and he didn't love me? Son of a bitch. So that's why they didn't name it. So that everybody can think they were the one that he loved. All right. But we all know it was me. I'm just saying. Born, and he was, Eric Hudson in Windsor, Ontario in 1937, Garth was the only non-singing member of the band. The band. That's right. You may not know that. It's like, wait a minute. How many members of the band were there? And he's the only one that didn't sing? According to the obit. That's right. Garth played multiple instruments, including keyboards, clavinet, saxophone, accordion, he played multiple instruments, including keyboards, clavinet, saxophone, accordion, according to many sources. There we go. I had just kind of the words accordion, it just kind of get all mushed up in there like that. And I just had trouble saying accordion and accordion. I just couldn't, it was difficult. It was difficult. And I'd like to see you try it sometime. Not right now, because I'm talking. You just listen. Rest in peace, Garth. You lived the drunkest dream, if there ever could be one. Can I get a bow, 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 bow? Amen. Yes. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Dame Joan Plowright, Dame Joan Plowright, who has died, and she died at age 95. Okay, uh, she was the widow of Lord Laurence Olivier. She passed away peacefully, surrounded by her family at Denville Hall. Okay, again, you know how I feel about that. If you're in a state where you're fragile, you don't want to be surrounded by family because you're going to go. Keep the family away, you have a better chance of living. Now, here's the thing I did not know. She was Lord Laurence Olivier's widow. And all this time, he was known to me as Sir Laurence Olivier. So apparently he got a promotion, and I have no idea when it happened. You know, there was no party, there was no cake saying, "Congratulations, Lawrence, you got a promotion." And we all have a cake and we blow out the candle. He went from Sir to Lord. I have no idea. Or is it a demotion? I don't know, because I'm not familiar with British hierarchy or any hierarchy. But the point is, they used to be married, and she's dead now. Joan was an actress of enormous and wide-ranging talent across over 7 decades until blindness made her retire. And that is truly unfortunate, because you should not have to retire from acting just because you're blind. Isn't that right, Brother Ian? That's right. You shouldn't have to retire from acting because you're blind. No, there were lots of movies she could have participated in. She could have had parts in movies like Blind Fury, Blind Date, Blind Side. She could have played football. I've seen her act. She's a great actress. She could have done that big black guy part, put a little brown on her face, and that's it. She could have starred in, or at least had a part in Blind Fear, Blind Woman's Curse. I mean, that's typecasting right there. She was a blind woman already. Okay? But they didn't. Okay? They didn't do that. They just had her retire, and that's unfortunate. Okay? That's why we need DEI. Okay? Because people are being overlooked, and all of those parts are probably played by sighted people when they had a perfectly good unsighted person who could have played any and all of those parts. That's why we need DEI. Okay? I'll get back to that later, because that pissed me off. But don't get me talking about DEI yet. Why'd you do that? Why'd you get me started? All right, sorry. Plowright was, quote, perhaps the greatest Anglophone actor of the 20th century, close quote, according to Variety magazine. I don't know what an Anglophone actor is, okay? I don't. And I am a wordsmith. Anglophone actor? And I didn't have time to look it up, because I didn't know Variety magazine was going to spring this on me. I had no idea. And then when they sprung it on me, I said, I got to look up Anglophone. What the fuck is an Anglophone actor? I don't know. I know what a telephone actor is. And an Anglophone, don't have no idea. And I thought I knew all of the phones. I did. She was certainly a leading pioneer in post-war British theater's modernization, particularly in terms of her theatrical style, as well as her geographic and class origins. Whoa, okay. Those of you who had trouble following that little word salad, that is how British people say she was poor and low class, okay, at least compared to them. Okay? But technically, she was raised in a middle class family in Scunthorpe, Northern England. And we all know where that is. It's right over here. Scunthorpe, England, right there. All right. Plowright's theatrical credentials were already dubious according to snobbish metropolitan attitudes of the time. See what I'm saying? And were weakened further by her unfashionably plump face. See? There you go. There's that, just these, they didn't know how to treat the lady, okay? Now, this is how bad it was. Her own mother said to her, quote, "You're no oil painting, but you've got the spark. Just thank God you've got my legs and not your father's," close quote. Damn. I mean, dame. Yeah, dame. That dame, that's cold. You know, your own mother says that about you. But she persevered. Because even then, even though her mother says, "Hey, look, you're not a very pretty woman, but you're talented. You got something. You got a spark. And damn it, you're going to catch fire, you know. So even though her mother said, so her mother was being honest. Her mother saying, hey, look, it ain't going to be easy. You know, you have a face for radio. Well, you might be able to do something in theater. Check out those legs. Maybe you could be a dancing girl, you know. An early agent disparaged the name plowright as sounding like a trade, you know, for plows and agriculture, and suggested an alternative like Desiree Day because Doris Day was so popular, right? So, hey, we can't have another Doris Day, but we can have a British version, Desiree Day. So now they're doing the knockoffs. Usually we steal from them, you know, The Office and all these other shows, we steal from them. But now they're trying to steal Doris Day from us, Desiree Day, you know. Or maybe go into porn with a name like Moan Plowright, you know. Plowright kept her name and changed her agent. Thank God she did that, you know. She's like, don't be fucking with my name. You fired. I've had my name all my life. I've had you for a couple of hours. You get the fuck out. I like that. I like that in a woman. Indeed, I do. Ask Mona. Mona is many times the Mona says to me, I've had my vagina all my life. Don't you tell me what to do with it. You get the fuck out. That's right. We're still together though, because she's honest. In 1960, she starred in the award-winning Broadway run of A Taste of Honey, okay, written by Shelag Delaney, who I don't know who the fuck that is, but if you do, you got that, okay? In this play, Plowright, yes, and see, and I thought about that. She could have played Helen Keller also, or at least the older Helen Keller, not the younger Helen Keller, because when she was blind, she was like 7. It had been doing in her, at least in her 80s, I guess, because she had been doing theater and stuff for 70 years when she, you know, had to retire from blindness. All right, yeah, but she was in this play, and in this play, Plowright reportedly reported for, quote, apparently the first time a white girl had kissed a black boy on stage on Broadway, close quote. Okay, that's supposedly. I don't know that. I mean, at least during a play. I mean, we don't know what they were doing on stage when the cameras are off. You know, when the lights are down, there could have been a whole lot of hanky-panky. But in the play, this apparently is the first time that a white girl kissed a black boy on stage. That's right. And you know who that black boy was? I know most of you are thinking it's got to be the Reverend. But I'm not that old. It was not me. No. It was Billy D. Williams. That's right. Those of you who said Billy D. Williams, you get a gold star. And I don't know where I keep my gold stars. Oh, that's not a gold star, but as long as I'm down there. All right. So that's right. It was Billy D. Williams. And to these plays, Plowright brought crucial cultural understanding from beyond the glamorous upper-class drawing rooms that dominated the 1930s and 40s. British drama, of course, not our British drama. So rest in peace, Joan. You can kiss as many black boys as you want now. That's what Lindsey Graham calls heaven, and hopefully you do too. Can I get a taste of honey? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Ryan White Maloney. That's right. Ryan White Maloney was a singer and musician who was one of Blake Shelton's top 5 finalists on The Voice in season 6. I had no idea, because now I had to look up who Blake Shelton was in The Voice in season 6. He died January 28th at the age of 44. Okay, that's the manner of death for Maloney was suicide, with the cause of death listed as a gunshot wound to the head. Prior to that, he had a bang-up career. Maloney was born in Traverse City, Michigan in 1981. I got fucking boots older than him. I got fucking sermons older than him. And I didn't even start doing sermons until 1996. God damn. He started playing guitar, violin, cello, and drums when he was 9. Okay. And from there, he started writing songs and formed the band Indulge. I had never heard of the band Indulge. But I'm pretty sure there's some kind of lapse in here. It says from 9, and then from there he went on to writing songs. Okay, I'm sorry, it wasn't like 9 years old he started the band Indulge. That's just poor writing or poor cut and pasting on my part. I apologize. So he formed the band Indulge, with which he recorded the album Tomorrow's Another Day in 2005. After 10 years with that band, Maloney struck out on his own, which led to him recording the solo album Where I've Been. And I don't know that album either. And eventually starred on The Voice in 2014. What? Wait a fucking minute. He was already a pop star. Why can't Beyonce compete on The Voice then? I mean, if you could have like albums and shit like that and then get on The Voice. No, I thought The Voice was for people who were like trying to be discovered, not people who were like already got albums and shit. No, that ain't fucking right. Jeez, me, what the fuck is wrong with people? And people, we don't have a voice on The Voice. That's right. Damn it. On the NBC singing competition, Maloney received a 4-chair turn with his blind audition song, Lights by Journey. Okay. He chose to be on Shelton's team, where he went through 2 battle rounds and made it to Shelton's top 5 finalists. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. You know, I'm not even impressed anymore. The man's been performing for that long and had out to at least, so many albums? I'm not impressed anymore. Fuck him. Fuck him. Why am I doing this obituary? It's just a shot in the dark, but he must have been, I guess, a pretty decent singer. So rest in peace, Ryan. You were a high-caliber performer, I suppose. Can I get another round? Lord have mercy. Dear Lord, please bless Sister Marianne Faithfull. That's right. Marianne Faithfull, the Grammy-nominated singer and actress, known for hits like As Tears Go By and Come and Stay With Me, she died on January 30th after a long battle with health issues. She was 78. Faithfull rose to prominence as a singer at the height of the swinging 60s. I don't know. Swinging has taken on a different tone now. I don't know if these are people in their 60s who are swinging, and it could have been, because let me finish, with her single As Tears Go By, which was written by Rolling Stones members Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. Okay, quote, this is her. This is Faithfull saying this, quote, I was never that crazy about As Tears Go By, she wrote in a 1994 interview. She continues, it was a marketable portrait of me, and as such is an extremely ingenious creation, a commercial fantasy that pushes all the right buttons. If you've ever seen her relationship with Mick Jagger dominated the tabloid from 1965 until 1970. So 5 years they dated. But then again, who the fuck didn't date Mick Jagger for 5 years? I dated Mick Jagger for 5 years, somewhere between Bianca and some other mouthwash. So yeah, everybody's dated Mick Jagger. But it's some people are just so bored by it, they don't follow. They don't care anymore. Mick Jagger could date Lindsey Graham and nobody would say anything anymore because it's like, oh, he's dating somebody else. They don't care, So this was like during which time she penned her own albums and starred in several films, including the 1968 erotic drama, The Girl on a Motorcycle. Okay. And talking about pushing the right buttons. Well, how about A Girl on a Motorboat? I see you don't know what she looks like. I did the research. I know what Faithfull looks like. You don't know what Faithfull look like. If you knew what Faithfull looked like, you wouldn't have been cheating on her, would you? Okay, sorry. After their breakup, Faithfull struggled for years with drug abuse and homelessness before having a career resurgence following the release of her Grammy-nominated 1979 album, Broken English. She continued to sing, write, and act over the course of the next 40 years, appearing in such films as Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette and writing 3 books. I don't know how big the books were or the name of the books, and I didn't take time to look it up. My bad. But rest in peace, Marianne. You were faithful to yourself. Can I get one? Yeah. Now, brothers and sisters, I would be remiss if I did not say a slight prayer for the people who were part of that collision over the Potomac, uh, where the Black Hawk helicopter and the American Airlines jet collided, uh, and 60 some odd people died. Everybody died. If you were in one of those two vehicles, you dead. Okay, no survivors whatsoever. Um, Now, while I say, while I pray for the, uh, not the souls of those people, because that's whatever they did or however they lived, that's out of my hands. But at least for the comfort and the peace of mind for the families and friends of them, may they find peace in some of the good memories that they have of them. May the good memories give you comfort until the pain has subsided. Now, the Army helicopter that crashed into the American Airlines plane was on an, quote, annual proficiency training flight when it crashed. And this is according to Secretary of Pretense, Pete Hegseth. Convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump blasted the administration of Barack Obama, stating that, quote, I changed the Obama standards from very mediocre to at best to extraordinary, Trump said. But here we go. See, if Trump fixed what Obama did wrong, then how is it Obama's fault? It's fixed. See, we're going to get into all this in the sermon. See, this is what I'm talking. The man's a fucking nut. Okay, nothing is ever his fault. He's always got to blame somebody else, and the darker, the better. Trump also blamed Joe Biden, along with diversity, equity, and inclusivity, DEI initiatives. Okay, he blamed that also. He blamed, basically, he was saying that it was a Black Hawk helicopter that caused it. And if it had been a White Hawk helicopter, it wouldn't have happened. Okay. So, and Trump and Hegseth, in continuing their effort to rid the military of DEI, is eliminating all Black ops programs and replacing them with the more deserving White ops programs. So, I want to one more. This is okay. The families of the two people who were killed in the Indiana shooting. There's a supermarket, the Martin Supermarket in Elkhart, Indiana. Pray for those families as well. The police said officers engaged the shooter, whose name is Sean Walter Bear, not the same Bear as Garth Hudson. This is a different Bear, because that Hudson has an alibi, but this Bear, he was shot and killed by police officers. Okay, the gunman, he was a regular at the supermarket, and people said he was never a problem in the past. But in the past, the eggs were much cheaper. So that's probably what I think that's what set him off. Because I know every time I was in the market yesterday, and in 1 week, the price of eggs went up $1. Okay, a whole fucking dollar, and now it's like $9.40 for a dozen of jumbo eggs. No, now these are jumbo eggs, like store brand, but a jumbo, and this is what I'm trying to figure out. The organic eggs, the brown eggs, were $6. Okay, the white eggs were damn near $10. The brown eggs were $6. Okay, again, I don't know if this is DEI kicking in or what, but I'm just saying, if you're that racist that you can't eat a brown egg for $3 less, you've got more problems than inflation. Okay, get the brown eggs for $3 less a dozen. All right, don't be eating the white eggs if you can't afford them. Step down a notch, back off the ledge, and use some of that DEI and buy some of those brown eggs. All right, that's all I'm saying. because they're only $6 a dozen, at least in Maryland. I don't know where you are. I don't know where they are. I don't know what the prices are. That's up for you to tell me. But so that's why I'm mentioning that, because I think it was the eggs. Okay. Now, police were surprised to only find a large caliber semi-automatic handgun and a large knife near Bear's body. After all, we're talking Indiana. In Indiana, you can get like any kind of firearm with like any kind of document. You know, you could get a bazooka if you display a bazooka gum tattoo. That's how fucking lax things are in Indiana. So we're lucky that he didn't have a bazooka gum tattoo to get a bazooka. That's it. And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at MyDogTV.com. They're truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, and I know they could be, because I had to beg them to be here today. And they said, all right, but don't make this a habit. Don't make this a weekly thing. I got shit to do. You know, and that ought to count for something. MyDogTV.com, the place to go to get all your Church of Satire, Last Resort gear. Church of Last Resort gear. Damn. Now, let us have a little bump for the Lord, because it's that time. It's that time. We have to bump for the Lord. Let me get this out. A little bump for the Lord. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's good stuff. I'll tell you about the good stuff later. But now, let's see. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Yes, indeed. Now, before we go on with our sermon, I want to remind people how they can get on Coffee with the Dog. I have a little message here from Sister Curly Hair So Bright. Please pay attention while I get some water.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
winter and spring
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you. And thank you for Brother Eulogizes for watching. Thank you on Facebook. We're also doing this on Facebook, on SoGDfunny.com, and we got people listening over there. So thank you, Brother Eulogizes, and those of you, everyone else watching over there. So today's sermon is called Viva Deferens. All right. Now, I was inspired by Trump's fascination with trying to get rid of DEI. That wasn't what I was supposed to talk about initially, but it happens like that, you know. So in Viva Deferens, we celebrate the vast differences that we as a nation have in common, okay? And that almost sounds contradictory, but it is not. See, for example, we have let's just take food, okay? Food. One of the things we all have in common, we all eat, okay? But we're from different cultures where different foods, are spiced differently, or different parts of the animal are treated differently, or appreciated differently. And because of that, I grew up in Baltimore City. I don't think I had a taco in my neighborhood. There weren't any Mexicans in my neighborhood. I didn't know what a taco was. Well, I didn't learn about a taco until I went to a public school. And the thing that they called a taco there, and the thing that they called a taco when I got older, weren't exactly the same thing. I just knew that. And even then, the next thing that my next encounter with the taco after school, public school, was Jack in the Box. Okay, and I'm like, I love this at 2 a.m. with some weed. I love this. And then you get to go to a real Mexican restaurant and you try like a real taco without the weed, and you can appreciate it even more. I know I would never. I grew up in Baltimore, again in Baltimore. I would never ever consider eating squid. Wouldn't have done it. But guess what? I had squid, and the only reason why I had squid was because the young lady that I was dating at the time, I was trying to impress her to let her know how open-minded I was. And she's like, what are you willing to put in your mouth to date me? And I'm like, try me, and she goes, here, squid. And I'm like, I had some other seafood in mind, but, Viva la Deferens, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Because of our vast differences, we have things in common. Okay, and we get to share those things. We get to learn about each other and learn about those things through our differences. You get to learn about different cultures through food. Okay, we get to learn about different cultures through music. Okay, even though the music is different, it still has something in common, and that is it moves you right here. Good music moves you here, and it doesn't matter where it's from. Okay, I used to listen to Indian music. The ragas, the rhythms and sitar. And the thing is, to a lot of people, it was like noise. But if you listen to it and feel it, you appreciate, the differences in the music. Okay, I'm not a big country fan, but when I listen to like some of the songs like by Johnny Cash we had to have Charlie Pride in the house. It was prerequisite. If you were a black family, you had to have Charlie Pride in the house. That was a prerequisite. But the point is, there was exposure, across the spectrum, and all these differences brought us together. Music, food, sex, all right? And that was probably one of the problems we had was that, see, and this is I think was the beginning of the downfall of DEI, all right? Because people of different cultures would just say, hey, I love women from, I'm trying to think of that place. Damn it. I can't think of that place. Brazil. That's not the place I'm thinking of. I'm really thinking of another place, but Brazil is coming to my mind. Or Tibet or whatever. I have a friend of mine who has a serious fetish with Asian women. Serious. I mean, it is so bad that I can't take him I could no longer go with him to places like the Chinese restaurant, because if it was authentic Chinese restaurant and they had real Asians serving and cooking, preparing the food let's put it this way. Stephen Ortiz, I'm sorry, that's not his name. That was the name that slipped out. But his name was Stephen, but I know a Stephen Ortiz, and I say his name so often that I rolled Stephen's the wrong last name off of the right first name. I don't know if that happens to you. Like I have a friend named Phil, and I want to call him Phil Dumpy. That's only because I've seen every episode of Modern Family, and when I say Phil, it's Dumpy, even though that's not his last name. I'm sorry, that's just my brain. I had a short circuit there. I'll fix it. I'll have another drink later. So, basically, here we go. Let me get with the sermon, because I was trying to explain to you what the sermon was going to be about, and I could have just started start doing the sermon. Okay, convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump promised to pick the best people. Okay, that's what he said. I know the best people. I'm going to pick the best people, deserving people. Because nobody knows the people better than I know the people. The people, I know the people. Okay. And no, to be honest, I didn't expect him to keep his promise. Do I look stupid? Okay, and before you answer that, if you voted for him and you think I'm stupid, turn me off right now. Chances are you couldn't turn me on anyway. But the point is, let's pretend that these people are the people that he thinks are the best people. All right? Remember the whole point of his attacks on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusivity, or as the GOP puts it, Donald envies intelligence. The whole point of his attacks are that undeserving people are taking jobs from more qualified people, kind of like the last election, the last presidential election. Okay, undeserving people are taking jobs from more qualified people. All right, so the fish rots from the head down, or something like that. Okay, forgetting that Trump's whole life was one big nepotistic hand-me-down. Everything about the man is hand-me-down. Not that he deserved any of the fucking things he wanted, but yet he wants to make sure that everybody in his circle deserves to be there. And people who don't deserve to be there are gone. All right, so now he's giving away jobs to anyone but qualified people. Okay. If you've been paying attention to the hearings for convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump's cabinet picks, you may have noticed a pattern. All right. Neither Pete Hegseth, who was nominated for the Secretary of Pretense, Robert Kennedy Jr., who's up for HHS, Health and Human Services, or Kristi Noem, who was picked to head Homeland Security. Okay, none of them, when they were asked about the responsibilities of the positions that they were applying for, none of them knew. Not one of them. They did not know what the job was. That's right. Okay, they did not know the job descriptions. Now, I'm going to assume that you have had at least one or two job interviews. Okay. When you went to the job interview, even if you weren't qualified for the job, and that happens, I know there were some jobs that I applied for that I was not qualified for yet, but I wanted the people in upper management to know that I was interested in advancing my career. So I applied for jobs that I wasn't qualified for yet, but I knew eventually I would be. And I didn't expect to get those jobs. I was just trying to get my name on the radar. That's it. I didn't expect to get the jobs, just like get my name out there, get my name on the radar, let them know I'm interested. Okay. But even though I wasn't qualified, I knew what the job responsibilities were. I knew what the duties were. Okay. I wasn't qualified, but if you had said to me, what does this person do? I could have told you. And when they asked questions like, and how would you fix this? I had solutions. I had ideas. I'm sure you must have also, but that's not what's happening with the Trump people. They say, how would you fix it? And they go, I'd fix it by fixing it. That's how I fix it. Like a child in elementary school. You know, did you do your homework? Yeah, I did my homework. What's the book about? The book's about 38 pages long, and it's about the thing they put in the title. No, these are simple-minded folk who don't deserve these positions, but they'll probably all get them. Okay? If you ran a fast food franchise and the fry cook applied for the manager's job and had no idea what the manager did, would you hire them? Of course you wouldn't. Unless they had some pictures or video of you doing something really incriminating. Then basically it's like, where's the P tape? Okay, it is obvious that Trump has no fucking idea what he's doing, and that there are businessmen and lawyers telling him what to do. Okay, the only things that Trump wanted was to steal, quote, / acquire more money without any interference. That's why he got rid of the attorney general, the inspector generals. He wanted to stay out of prison. Again, getting rid of attorney generals and inspector generals and anybody who would look into what the fuck he's done, and have revenge on anyone that he feels slighted him, which is anyone that doesn't kiss his ass or his ring or wants to call him to task. That's it. That's all he wants. The rest he's doing is a big fuck you to us. That's it. And it doesn't matter if you voted for him or not, because if you look at the policies, the things he was like in executive orders, he was hurting people. Didn't matter how they voted. You just had to be poor. That's it. And if you were poor and you voted for him, you're a fucking idiot. Yes, I'm saying it. Yeah, I said it. You're a fucking idiot if you voted for him and you're poor. You're a fucking idiot if you voted for him and you're black. You're a fucking idiot if you voted for him and you're a woman. You're a fucking idiot if you voted for him, period. Okay? Because even if you're rich, okay, even if you're rich and you voted for him, you're a fucking idiot. Because your wealth won't last if the things around it that wealth is based on collapses. Unless you're going to put everything you have in Bitcoin and crypto coin, then sure, okay. Now you criminals can exchange money with each other. Great. So, convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump has been in office for about 2 weeks, okay? And he has already had to rescind about 7 executive orders because he has no idea how government works. Okay, no idea. Okay, Trump promised to do something about grocery prices on day one. And all he's done is seek revenge and make things worse. Of all the executive orders that he signed, not one moved the economy in the right direction. Okay, Trump's official position is that Biden killed all the chickens. It's not like Biden was out there choking chickens. No, it's too old for that. More than 20 million egg-laying chickens in the U.S. died last quarter alone because of bird flu. And tens of millions were killed to stop the spread of the virus. Okay, like I said earlier, eggs in Maryland, white eggs in Maryland, are over $9 a dozen for jumbo. Okay, meanwhile, Canada, their eggs are about $3.50 a dozen. $3.50. Let me say that again. Canada's eggs are about $3.50 a dozen. What, the bird flu stops at the border? That's it? Bird flu can't go north? I don't know. I don't know enough about bird flu. I was just disturbed to find out that the price of eggs in Canada was $3.50. Okay? Where's the executive order, Mr. Trump? Where's the executive order to buy 100 million healthy chickens from around the world to replace the ones that died or were killed? Where's that executive order? Okay, is it legal? I don't know. But none of the other shit you did was legal. It has to be going through the court. So why couldn't you do something for us? Why couldn't you be buying chickens to help lower the price of eggs on day one? An executive order saying, going out to the Department of Agriculture, guys, get me some chickens. Let's get some healthy egg-laying chickens in the country so we can lower the price. Let's buy some healthy cows who don't have bird flu and mad cow disease in the country so that we can lower the price of beef. Okay?
Christ, did a cow shit in here?
I don't know. But if he did, let's check that shit to see if it's good. Let's check good shit. See if he's a healthy cow. We need healthy cows. So yes, if you're a healthy cow and you ain't shit in here, you're welcome. My point is, which I did have somewhere in there, don't make me look again. I don't know if it's legal for an executive order to order the Department of Agriculture to buy chickens. I don't know. But he could have at least tried, right? He could have at least tried to buy cows, at least tried to do something for those of us who are not as wealthy as him and his fucking friends. Okay, when Trump sits around the Resolute desk screaming drill baby drill, he's not talking about oil. He's talking about drilling holes in the Constitution so he can enrich himself and his friends. That's it. The man has ruined everything he touches, and now he's touching our lives again. All right. Now, Trump wants violence. That's why he wants the chaos. He wants the chaos. He wants the violence, so he can have an executive order to establish martial law. Okay, that's what he wants. He wants violence, but he doesn't want to fight. He does not want us to fight back. Okay, so I say we give him a fight. Okay, call your representatives. Okay, remind them that just because Trump is a lame duck, that is no excuse for them to be lame fucks. Okay. If, for example, if you're in Maine, okay, and you have a Senator, Susan Collins, who thinks Trump learned his lesson, teach her a lesson, okay? Threaten her with her job, all right? Threaten her with her fucking job. I'm sorry. I just said that because I have friends and family in Maine who actually might be watching this and go, that's right. We got Susan Collins. And she kept saying, Trump learned his lesson. I'm going to give him what he wants because I think he learned his lesson. I'm not going to vote to impeach him. I think he learned his lesson. I'm going to support his cabinet pick because I think he learned his lesson. Maine, it's time you learned your lesson. Susan Collins is a fucking idiot. Get rid of her. Okay, yeah, she has seniority. And you know something? You're going to lose some of that seniority in the Senate. But wouldn't you rather lose seniority in the Senate and gain someone who's going to fight for you? Wouldn't you rather lose some seniority in the Senate and have somebody who's going to respect your wishes and look out for your causes, your needs, and not bow down to whatever that fucking orange gourd of a thing who lives in the White House wants? Yeah, it's sacrifice. It's called sacrifice. Now, if they want to get reelected, we better see lower inflation, lower rent, higher wages, and more pushback against Trump's attempt to turn this country into a third world, first-rate oligarchy. Damn it. Yeah, last night, I watched the 1940 movie, The Dictator, by Charlie Chaplin. It was a poke in the eye to Hitler and a warning to America. And a great deal of that movie could be about Trump today, especially the double cross. Now, for those of you who've never watched The Dictator, it's in black and white, so you don't try to adjust your sets. Don't turn it on and go, holy shit, it's black and white. No, there's nothing wrong with your set. It's a very old movie. It's from 1940, okay? 1940, Hitler was like all the rage, okay? And he was just starting out to be the dictator, before the 1945 Hitler, everybody goes like, oh, fuck, he's bad, okay? Charlie Chaplin saw that he was bad back then. And the movie came out in 1940, and it took them a little while to make the movie. He was somewhat prescient, right? Is that the word? You can see Charlie Chaplin says, I know what Hitler's like because we have the same birthday. Now, I don't know if zodiac signs are that kind of real, but let's just say that Charlie Chaplin says, look, I know what the man is capable of because we have the same birthday. That, to me, we took a risk on Charlie Chaplin also. But I guess what he's saying is we have the same personality, and Hitler's using his for bad, and I'm using mine to entertain you. But we still have the same Nazi tendencies. All right. So Charlie Chaplin, fuck. All right. And he said that, not me. Charlie Chaplin said that he knew Hitler because they had the same birthday. Okay. Now the double cross. Okay. Hitler, the whole time, he kept saying, I'm not going to attack this. I'm not going to invade that. And it made it sound like he was doing good things for the people. That was a double cross. Although the double cross is also based on the SS and the swastika. See? So it's a very layered. That meaning is very layered. Trump also specialized in the double cross. Okay. He told his followers to get them to vote for him. And other people who weren't his followers, it's like, I don't know what Project 2025 is. I have no idea. I don't know what they're talking about. They never read it, which is probably true. That's the other thing about politicians. When they want to get around shit, they say, I never read it. I didn't see that. I don't know. They know. They knew. But they say they didn't read it because they had somebody else read it to them. They say they didn't hear about it because they had somebody else say it for them. I didn't see that. I didn't listen to that. I didn't read that. I have to look into that. That's just DC speak for, like, I know what the fuck's going on, but I won't say. I won't throw my people under a bus. I want you to throw your people under the bus. Okay? Why is it okay for us to throw our people under the bus, but they can't throw their own people under the bus? Representative Andy Harris out of Maryland said that he said this at a town hall in front of constituents, people that he represents. He said that rich people are more ethical than poor people. He said that because they were trying to get rid of the ethics in Congress. That was their first vote at that time. They were voting to get rid of the people who oversaw the ethics of Congress people. And that was his justification, that rich people are more ethical than poor people. So he's saying, first of all, Congress is rich, and that they're more ethical than us. And he still got reelected. Okay, he's in the safe district. Any Republican in that district in Maryland would get reelected. I don't know why they couldn't put another Republican in there. Like, oh, that's right, seniority. They're afraid of losing their seniority. What the fuck is wrong with people? So there's a great deal about that movie that applies to Trump today. I suggest you watch it. It's in color. It's in black and white. But basically, get over it, watch it, and learn the lessons. Okay? Character matters. Character matters, especially when you are closer to death than you are to birth, like these old fucks in Congress. Okay? They're growing old. Growing old is a privilege and a process, and we get to shape what kind of old person we want to be. Okay? Trump did not choose wisely. Okay? He's a miserable lying fuck of a man. And I mean man in the generic sense. Like, come on, man. Do better. That's what I mean. Those of us who want to be remembered for doing the right thing, do the right things. If you want to be remembered to your kids and your nieces and your nephews for doing the right thing, then do the right thing. Don't do the wrong thing and lie about it, okay? Because you're only hurting your future generations, your kids, your nieces, your nephews. So let's do better. Let's live better. Let's try better. Speaking of try better, try to book GD Fenderson. If you're on, go to gigsalad.com if you're looking for a comedian. Book him.
We'd be sitting around the table playing Monopoly. And one time I saw my dad, and he was palming hotels and sliding them off to the side. And I'd go, and he'd go, I'm like, all right, we're bonding. And all I have to do is let him cheat. Who's he hurting? So one night I come home, waiting to play Monopoly. It's game night, no game. I walk into the dining room, I see my sister, and she's just staring at the ceiling. And as I get closer to my sister, I can hear my parents upstairs fussing and fighting. And I'm like, Cookie, what's going on? And I was really scared, so I took her hand. I said, what's going on? Why are they fighting? And my sister says, Mom caught Dad cheating. And I said, I know, it was the hotels. That left a really, really big impression on me. And because of that, I have never, ever cheated on my wife in Monopoly.
And you can get that in other samples. You can get that and so much more when you book GD Fenderson through Gig Salad. And eventually, a little bit later in the month, I'm going to be available through Gig Salad, also through his site. You can book me and we can play games. Some of the games that we I can't tell you all the games here, but let's just say most of them involve sex toys. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And I will have those videos up shortly so that people can have an idea. If you want to book myself or GD Fenderson through Gig Salad, GIGSALAD.com/GD Fenderson. All right. So thank you so much, brothers and sisters. before I close, I want to thank those of you who have joined us today, and thank you those of you who have subscribed to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. Bless you all, bless you. It means so much to me. Like I just did, I invite you to go to gigsalad.com and check out GD Fenderson the next time you need to hire a comedian for a private event. On behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Ramona, my kids Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. Thank you, brothers and sisters, and in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can we get a fuck yeah, y'all? Fuck yeah! Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you.